The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, has a rich history dating back millennia. Early settlers, the ancestors of today's indigenous groups, traversed land bridges and sailed the seas, arriving in waves of migration. These intrepid explorers established communities, cultivating the land and navigating the vast waterways. Trade networks flourished, connecting the islands to each other and to neighboring lands. Hinduism and Buddhism, carried by merchants and travelers, left their mark on art, language, and beliefs. By the 14th century, Islam had spread to the southern islands, establishing sultanates and introducing new cultural and religious practices. The Philippines, at the crossroads of Asia, had become a vibrant tapestry of diverse cultures and beliefs. The arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 marked a turning point. Magellan's expedition, seeking a westward route to the Spice Islands, claimed the archipelago for Spain. This encounter, though brief, signaled the beginning of a new era, one of colonization that would profoundly shape the Philippines for centuries to come. Spanish colonization brought about dramatic transformations in the Philippines. The introduction of Christianity, spearheaded by missionaries, led to the widespread conversion of the population. Churches, magnificent symbols of the new faith, rose in towns and cities across the archipelago. Education, once limited to religious institutions, became more accessible, though largely confined to the elite. The Spanish language, introduced as the language of administration and education, gradually intertwined with native languages, giving rise to a unique linguistic blend. Societal structures were also reshaped, with the Spanish establishing a hierarchical system that privileged those of Spanish descent. This system, while fostering economic growth and urbanization, also sowed the seeds of social unrest and a yearning for equality. The galleon trade, a lucrative economic system, linked the Philippines to the Americas. Manila, strategically located as a trans-Pacific hub, became a bustling center for trade. Galleons laden with silks, spices, and other treasures from Asia sailed across the Pacific to Acapulco, Mexico, returning with silver from the Americas. This trade, though enriching the Spanish crown and a select few, did little to alleviate the plight of the Filipino masses. Forced labor, heavy taxation, and land dispossession became the norm, fueling resentment and a growing desire for self-determination. By the 19th century, a burgeoning sense of Filipino identity began to emerge. Education and exposure to liberal ideas from Europe awakened a national consciousness among the Filipino elite, known as the Ilustrados. These educated individuals, many having studied abroad, challenged the inequalities of Spanish rule and advocated for reforms. They wrote articles, novels, and poems, using their voices to expose injustices and ignite the flames of nationalism. Jose Rizal, a physician, writer, and polymath, emerged as a towering figure of this movement. His novels, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, exposed the corruption and abuses of Spanish colonial rule, sparking a firestorm of controversy and solidifying his status as a national hero. Rizal's writings, though critical of the colonial regime, advocated for peaceful reform and assimilation with Spain. He believed that education, enlightenment, and equal rights were the keys to progress. However, his ideas were deemed dangerous by the Spanish authorities. Arrested and exiled to Dapitan, Mindanao, Rizal continued to work for his people, establishing a school, a hospital, and introducing agricultural reforms. His martyrdom in 1896, executed by the Spanish on charges of rebellion, ignited the Philippine Revolution. Rizal's death, far from extinguishing the flames of nationalism, fueled the fire, transforming him into a martyr and a symbol of the Filipino struggle for freedom. The Philippine Revolution, sparked by Rizal's execution and fueled by decades of simmering resentment, erupted across the archipelago. The Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society founded by Andres Bonifacio, mobilized the masses, calling for an end to Spanish rule. Armed with bolos and bamboo spears, ordinary Filipinos joined the fight, their courage and determination a testament to their yearning for freedom. Emilio Aguinaldo, a young revolutionary leader, rose to prominence, leading Filipino forces to victory in several key battles. The revolution, though facing superior Spanish firepower, gained momentum, capturing the hearts and minds of the Filipino people. However, the path to independence took an unexpected turn with the outbreak of the Spanish-American War in 1898. The United States, drawn into the conflict over Cuba, saw an opportunity to expand its influence in the Pacific. The Battle of Manila Bay, a decisive American naval victory, sealed the fate of Spanish rule in the Philippines. Aguinaldo, believing the United States to be an ally in the fight for independence, proclaimed Philippine independence on June 12, 1898. However, the Treaty of Paris, which ended the Spanish-American War, ceded the Philippines to the United States, dashing the hopes of immediate independence and ushering in a new era of colonial rule.